Now, Killers of the Flower Moon, I also discussed with my friend Peter, and I came to the conclusion that although I thought it is a long movie, too long, although the ending seemed slightly a little anticlimactic, I can see myself rewatching this movie many times.
Yeah.
I loved The Irishman. I like The Irishman more than this. But if I had to compare it to the level of Scorsese's past films, I would say it's relatively similar to The Irishman. I
Yeah.
think as great as Robert De Niro is, as great as Lily Gladstone is, and they are great because they should not, you know, I'm not underselling it. They really are fantastic here.
Yeah.
I am really sad to see that Leonardo DiCaprio is not getting attention.
Yeah.
I think we're taking him for granted. I really am. I think he was easily one of the biggest Oscar snubs this year. It's one of the best performances I've seen from him. And it's a character he's never really played before. And this is the guy who is Jack Dawson in Titanic, Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, this incredibly charming guy. And he plays this, mm, low IQ, easily manipulated character.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed every second of it. And this is Martin Scorsese, so the film looks amazing. It's great.
Yeah.
Uh, as far as the edit goes, Thelma Schumacher, like she's a great editor. Like I said, probably just could have shaved movies. Like sometimes a movie needs to be
Yeah.
cut. It's 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's really, really long.
Yeah.
And as much as Martin Scorsese talks down on uh our generation specifically with Marvel content and that we're kind of just used to that, or like what's wrong with watching a 3.5 hour movie? There's nothing really wrong with making a 3.5 hour movie. You just gotta make sure we want to rewatch it again.
Yeah.
And I think for people like me, it's going to have that effect. But me and you, or anybody who loves movies or loves Martin Scorsese, it's going to have that effect on us. But other people, they're not going to look at this film as they do Wolf of Wall Street, which is a long movie, 3 hours, and Goodfellas. It's just not paced as well as those films.
Yeah.
But this is a very different movie that he's done before, but he still uses his Scorsese-isms. He still picks a story that's very Scorsese-like in regards to
Yeah.
like you kind of know how it's going to end. It's probably not going to end great, but I want to see the ride. And I
Yeah.
really enjoyed all the performances and this new tale, a new take, and a great Leo performance, I thought.
Yeah. So I had that actually as my number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And
Say your piece.
listen, I think truthfully I got to see it at least 4 more times to say this.
4 more times.
But it's potentially Leo's best role in terms of how different, like you said, it is from his other stuff. At least for me, I think to me he'll always be Jordan Belford. I
Yeah,
think a lot
me
of
too.
people feel that way,
Yeah, and
and
I'm surprised that there aren't like so many people that think that's his best role because he's done so
yeah,
many great roles. But I think specifically our generation is going to see him as Jordan Belfort.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think too, I love De Niro. He is one of the goats, right? And I
Mhm.
was, you know, I'm a little bit like, all right, man, maybe we're getting a little too old. So going into this, I wasn't expecting a lot. And I also like kind of had this realization like he does kind of often just play De Niro in a lot of his roles these days.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to see him. I mean, he's talking with the southern accent the whole time. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
he was great in it. And so I agree though with what you say about this is like directly Irishman to me, the way
Yeah.
this is put together. But I
Mhm.
liked how it was somewhat of a haunting movie in a way. The
Yeah.
just the way that everything goes down, it's very eerie the whole
Mhm.
time, which I thought was great and different from a lot of Scorsese.
Yeah, I mean, the best scene in the entire movie to me, the most memorable scene to me, is Leo crying in the jail cell. Like
Yeah,
that to me is like his reaction. De Niro's there. I just thought that was great. And to me, there was no performance that in the film that was better than Leo's. And a lot of people are saying they're like, it's Leo. He was all right. He was good. Not one of his best performances. And I'm just like, I just don't agree. I just think
yeah,
I really think it is one of his best. And I think we're just taking him for granted. I think we're just used to him being good in everything. So like we take something like this and we're like, he's all right,
yeah,
let's pick somebody else. But
yeah,
no, I thought
definitely.
he was exceptional. I really did. And to him getting snubbed, especially after watching, this is a good time to bring up Maestro. I don't know if Maestro's in your top 10.
It is
Um,
not.
okay, thank you. Did you see Maestro?
I did not, but
Okay, because we
I've
could
heard.
talk about Maestro for just a little bit.
Okay.
I recently watched Maestro. The fact that Bradley Cooper, who I love, Bradley Cooper is one of my
Yeah.
favorite actors. I was anticipating this movie, and I also didn't buy into all the criticism the film was
Yeah.
receiving. I was just kind of like whatever, but I don't think he's good. I
Really.
legitimately don't think he's that great. The thing is like I've watched Leonard Bernstein interviews, so I know how he talks, and I think the film because he directed the movie. So I can't say he did
Yeah.
a poor job because it is masterfully directed. It's really well done. And his voice his natural voice mixed with his Leonard Bernstein impression, that's what it comes off as. It comes off as Bradley Cooper trying to do a Leonard Bernstein impression.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I didn't get that from Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer. I know you had issues with his accent, but I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
It felt like an impression of Leonard Bernstein. He talks the entire time like he's got a really bad cold.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the same tone and sometimes it's laughably bad to me. And there's a lot of people who I think are film fans are not aligning with Maestro. They do not care
Yeah.
for it. They
I've
think it's
got that.
very Oscar baity and it's Bradley Cooper desperately trying to get an Oscar. Carey Mulligan is by far the best part of Maestro to me. Like
Yeah.
by far, I was kind of blown away by her performance.
Really.
Yeah. So when I see Bradley Cooper getting nominated for Maestro and Leo not getting nominated,
Yeah.
that's just like, dude, come on now. Like I just did not see that at all, personally.
Yeah. I don't get it, especially because I walked away from Killers kind of, you know, I was thinking, definitely he'll get nominated, but um, Killian's probably gonna beat him out. But like I was very surprised as well by that decision, I guess.